This is it. The fight that I've been waiting for, that my friend has been waiting for, what you guys have been waiting for, what Hisoka has been dreaming about, and what Chrollo could care less for. It's time to give my thoughts on the Hisoka versus Chrollo fight. I was thinking to add this to my overall manga thoughts when I read the manga, but that might be a while till I catch up with what's current. Plus, I sense that I can talk enough about this Ultimate Showdown for its own video, so here we are. I'll start with my initial thoughts and say what I was expecting with this fight before going into it and reading it. Honestly, I thought it was going to be a Netero versus Meruem situation, where the combatants are just flying all around, throwing nen abilities left and right, explosions happening everywhere, one wrong step from either fighter will get them killed. You know, like some Dragon Ball Z shit or when Genos is fighting from One Punch Man. And I kinda got that. It definitely was a lot more of a mind game type of fight, like how a lot of hardcore Hunter x Hunter fights are. And when I finished the fight, the biggest realization hit me in the face and just made me smile. That's the fact that Chrollo leaves Heaven's Arena, talking on the phone like it's another day, entirely unscathed. While Hisoka is just dead. Like, Hisoka dies! And it just made me realize that, in reality, Hisoka stood no damn chance against Chrollo when it came to this fight. I find it unbelievably funny and hilarious that Hisoka absolutely allowed Chrollo to take his sweet time to get ready to fight him. That was the worst decision that Hisoka could ever make. Because when you understand and read the fight from start to finish, and then look back at the start, you see that Hisoka kinda screwed up from the beginning already. It also makes you see that Chrollo's almost like the Batman of Hunter x Hunter. If he knows who he is up against, and is given any sort of time to fight his enemy, his chances of winning go higher and higher. And he is given all the time in the world to handpick specific powers that would counter Hisoka in every possible way, along with a galaxy-level plan and strategy just to beat him. Which is another aspect that I really did enjoy about the battle. It's that Hisoka really doesn't have much when it comes to his arsenal of nen powers. Chrollo, on the other hand, legit has an entire book. In other words, it's a fight of limited versus unlimited. Even with the specific powers that were chosen for Hisoka, it almost seems endless with what Chrollo can do with them. I say my favorite moment of the fight was when Chrollo used the loudspeaker to command the puppets to attack Hisoka, and then the whole stadium is rushing towards him. I'll admit, that was a 200 IQ play right there and caught me off guard and surprised me. I like that. And then Chrollo slowly started breaking Hisoka bit by bit. Hand blasted off, same thing goes for your foot now, and for the finishing touch, your life. And that was with just a handful of powers he used. Which, again, I find it so funny that Chrollo flat out tells Hisoka that these are the powers I'm going to use, not to fight you per se, but to kill you. Are you sure you want to do this? Like, you read the terms and conditions, and Hisoka's like, yeah, sure, I don't mind. Bruh. And then Hisoka literally dies. Like, what did you think what would happen? Like, come on. It's similar to One Piece when Blackbeard just goes up to Magellan and thought nothing terrible can come from this. And then, of course, not even 10 seconds go by, and now he's slowly dying. Hisoka's kind of in the same boat, but I can't completely fault him because he wanted to fight Chrollo, and, well, this was the result. It got to the point where he fully realized that dying was his only option. Death was legit the only way out of the onslaught. But Hisoka takes advantage of that and comes back to life. Which, I mean, even though bungee gum does contain the properties of both rubber and gum, never forget, doesn't really make any sense how he came back to life. And before you type away, yes, I know about post-mortem nen, but it's more of the idea of, well, how my friend said it. I don't think bungee gum can really act as a defibrillator, but whatever. However, because of his death, it was a wake-up call for Hisoka to just kill on sight now, which really wasn't his thing before. He'll wait for a good showdown. I mean, look how much time he gave Chrollo. But because of that, He's not really horny anymore and is just angry and is willing to kill whoever and whenever he spots a troop member now. It's kill on sight, with or without powers, like he did with Cortopi or Sharnark. Also, Sharnark did nothing wrong. Like, he was actually one of my favorite characters. Like, what the heck, dude? Now, I'll also be honest and say that as much as I really like this fight, is it my favorite? No. My favorite fight is of Gon versus P2, which I know for some that doesn't even count as a fight. It was an execution instead. Though I like that fight in moment better because even though there was a lot of build-up and I guess you could say hype to Hisoka versus Chrollo, the same thing goes for Gon versus Pito, and it had a bigger and better impact because we're seeing this previous happy-go-lucky fishing boy turn into this complete sociopath when he threatens to kill an innocent blind girl just because she had the slightest bit of connection to P2. And seeing his dark transformation and using all of the Nen he'll ever have, basically, is insane. That's my favorite fight. And with Hisoka versus Chrollo, it's a runner-up now for sure. It was a very enjoyable read that I didn't know what would happen page by page and caught me by surprise every other moment. I really am glad that I do have it in physical volume form now as well, so that's good. Now my next task is to trog through reading what Nen Beast can do 3 to 4 times over. That'll be fun. But hey, on the plus side, I got this sick Phantom Troop shirt. It's wickedly cool. So yeah, those are my thoughts, my very quick and subtle thoughts on the Hisoka versus Chrollo fight, because, you know, that was the one thing everyone said, like, oh yeah, this is like one of the best that there is in the whole series and possibly all of Shonen, and I thought, alright, I gotta give it a read, I have to by this point. And I thought, yeah, I can make it its own video, that'll be fun as well, so yeah, those are my thoughts. I liked it. Chrollo, he jumped on there of being like one of my favorite characters just from this fight alone. It's just like, wow, he really did just kind of screw Hisoka over, and Hisoka was like okay with it, and he knew what he was getting into. But hey, I mean, that's what Hisoka wanted again. So if you have another favorite fight that's not this, also let me know. Comment down below. You know what to do with all the links that I provide and everything of the sort. Stay safe, have a great day, have a great night, and everything else you know what to do.